was completely your fault. You distracted me right when Mr. Close was at the door. Night 2 is literally impossible. Look at these hands, James. They're plastic. Do you know how hard it is to press the door buttons with these giant stubby fingers?
My goodness, James, you look terrible, but I don't feel too bad about it. We all have bad nights. In fact, it reminds me of the two nights that was for them Katie, for them Hetty, and for them Donnie. It was supposed to be a bonding experience. See, the management had left a VHS tape, a copy of a documentary about the migration patterns of North American monarch butterflies. I was in the bedroom. Yeah. Hetty wanted to watch a movie about race cars, and Donnie wanted to watch a blank tape that just played static because it claimed it helped align his audio sensors, but Katie and I won the vote. Democracy in the pizzeria. James, the beautiful thing I told it isn't. So we all gathered in the secondary party room with everything set up. We didn't have popcorn, of course, because of the greasefire accident, which I'm sure you know all about, given your history. So instead, we just assimilated the sound of eating popcorn by crinkling old candy wrappers we found in 10 minutes. It really added to the ambience. We had just gotten to the part of documentary where the caterpillars were trying to spin their crevices. It's a fantastic process where they digest themselves from inside out, the total liquidation of their physical form, only to rebuild themselves into beautiful, something beautiful with wings. I remember laying over for them Hetty and saying, "Hetty, don't you wish we could liquidate ourselves? Liquidate our physical forms?" And it turned to her voice, and Hetty just looked at me and said, "Gwen, if I turn into a physical, literal firefly, my plastic casing won't fit through the drive-through window at the burger joint down the road." He was always so practical, maybe short-tempered. This was his games, but practical. And then James, the piece was shattered. And you know who shattered it? It wasn't Donnie. Donnie was actually being very polite, holding the tracking wire for VCR, so the picture doesn't look there. It was Don Don. Now, for those who don't know who Don Don is a hand puppet. He doesn't have a brain. He doesn't have a soul. He's a fabric, felt, and two plastic Google eyes glued on the right hand of Hetty. Was again, and Donnie and Hetty insist on giving him a voice. And Don Don said that he did not want to learn about the modern firefly. Suddenly, right in the middle of the caterpillar transition, this little puppet pops right up in the front of the screen TV. It starts speaking about pirates. "Alright, your vast immediates were seeing the German shores." Said Donnie and Hetty, please tell Don Don to lower the volume. We're trying to appreciate nature. And Hetty looked at me and said, and I completely distressed. And James, he said, "I'm crying, Gwen." When he's taken over the complete severed motors of my wrist control. For the next 2 hours, the entire movie was just Don Don doing enormously terrible pirate impressions. Buying Putnam Hayes' nose tone, not able to crinkly candy peppers. Hay lost his temper, started throwing plastic coins into cups at Don and Donnie. Started crying, which caused a mayor to his desk, and Katie was just staring there at the wall, completely checked out. It made me realize something very deep that night, James. It made me realize that no matter how hard you try to plan a peaceful educational evening, there's always going to be Don Don in your life. A loud, mindless, annoying little puppet that ruins the show because it wants attention.
You know, in all my years of hiding plots, you would think that you'd be a lot more smarter next time. Because I don't mess around. I would have let you get a fair chance if I was a fox, but I'm a Kitsune, so it doesn't really matter. Oh, it's okay. There's nothing left to see here. Shh. 99.
I know my family and friends, but you are not any of them. You can't wash the blood from your hands when the water's already boiling. The curtain doesn't close when the show ends. For you, James, the performance is just beginning and your audience never gets tired. You thought you were the architect of this nightmare, James, but you were only laying the bricks for your own eternal tomb. What a sight to take in. A victim that won't stay dead within. You thought that I was done with you. James, this is your hell, and you're going to be living it for eternity.
It's funny, looking at the road upside down from the ceiling makes everything look so much clearer. For instance, I could see exactly where to bite you. They made me take it apart and put it back together attraction, but don't worry, Mr. Emerald. I promise to be much more careful when I take you apart. You left us in the dark to rot, but pieces like us always find a way to cling together. Welcome to your phone curtain call. I just want to play the final game of putting you together. Huh. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, step right up and see the miraculous vanishing act of James Emerald. Don't look so shocked, James. My tracking senses were specifically calibrated to find exactly what you were trying to hide. Oh, the show must go on, even if the strip burns. The lights are dimming, the audience is waiting, and your time as a fishy ran out. For your final performance, James, try not to scream too loudly.